Hey guys, welcome back to Laura's Cozy Corner. Today is June the 20th on a Saturday. I'm going to be doing a lot today. I kind of did a little here and there throughout the week. But this morning was kind of interesting. I woke up to a bird that got in here in the mudroom, and it was on top of that cat tree back there trying to get out the top of the window, and it was shut. So I opened it up, opened this door up, and kind of walked back and forth, maybe get it to go out, and it finally went out. But today I don't have a whole lot to do out here in the garden because, for one, yay, I'm done planting. Got everything out. My garden should be full. You know, if things don't come up, I don't really have anything to replace it with anyway. So I've been just every day I come out and I walk down here. It's kind of usually in the evening, but today it's going to be during the day. I have a whole house full that I need to take care of. So I've been coming down here, trying to pull some big weeds, keep training my green beans, training peas if needed, training tomatoes up the tomato cages, and just picking off, you know, like dead leaves that are got spotty or anything like that. I've pulled off dead leaves off potato plants. Hank has made some more. You see those timbers back there? We've got 2 of my beds finished on some more timbers this month, and then next month we'll have enough to start the next bed and then this big bed. So I'll have permanent edging for my beds. That's what I'm excited for. And then I gotta go back and probably weed my walkways, you know, where the weeds and stuff's come up underneath the edging. And once I do that, I'm gonna lay more cardboard down wherever needed, because, you know, the wind and rain move things around, and we'll be mulching. And I'm excited to do that, get all these piles of sticks out of my yard, and then may even have to go get more mulch as well. Not sure yet, but I'm sure I will. Actually, there's quite a bit of walkway. This past week we had a fair here in town, and it was fun at the time, but man, it took me a whole day to recoup from that thing. It was weird. I don't know, maybe too much excitement or something, but my eyeballs was like swelled shut almost, and my eyes kept watering once I got them open. And Parker, my son, he was all emotional and stuff, maybe where we didn't eat right. We ate all that fried food, you know, funnel cake, fried Oreos. He had 2 big old things of lemonade. You know, fair lemonade's not too healthy, but I don't know, it was weird. Let's just say that. Bowel movements was not correct. Anyhow, maybe a little too much information, but boy, it worked on us this year. I don't know, it was weird. So that's what I'm doing out here. I'm coming out. It looks like a bunch of weeds, and it is. It's dandelion that I've been keeping and all that, just in case I want salad. But I go back and pull trees that are growing, the morning glories that are growing, their vines, anything that's viney that'll choke out my plants. That's what I've been pulling every day. And then I just glance at every my peas and my green beans and make sure they're finding the fence line. That's about it. And then I look and see what I need to do to harvest. So in my binder, I have it wrote down that since the 17th I could have harvested these cabbage that I'll show you. Looky there. Ain't they big and beautiful? And see, these potato plants has died back behind there. And I made a note for 2 weeks to start maybe this plant and this plant. And then there's another one over in the middle. There's like a gap right there. That one died off. So in 2 weeks I can dig up those potatoes, I believe. But we're checking to see if it's hard, and it is. And then I want it to be, you know, as big as my hand. So, I mean, it's still a little small. So I'm going to let it go further. This one, I don't know what's going on with it, but it is not hard at all. And I think it's because, you know, whatever worm is in here messing with it. I'm going to keep it and see what it does so the worm stays there and not go to these. Because I think it's down inside that head somewhere. Because I see fresh poo. Did you see that? Gross. So I might have lost one. This one here, though, it does have a hard head on it, but it's small. So that one would be harvesting after that one. So I'm excited. I keep looking at those every day, but boy, that's just so beautiful. So that's the only thing I can harvest right now, and or potatoes in a couple weeks, okay? Corn is, can you see it? Getting tall. Not bad. I've got blooms on some of my tomatoes. I keep them up. And I saw from Pawpaw Ridge on Facebook, if you just tickle the blooms like that, he said each bloom will produce a fruit. So this is cherry tomato and this is cherry tomato. But see, I've got bugs in here pollinating. I just flew away. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. But as they get taller, I just kind of, I want them to be supported. So either tuck them in or wrap them in or whatever, you know. That's how I'm training the tomatoes. Now this tomato has a lot of those suckers on them. And I ain't worried about that until it gets too big, then I'll start cutting. I don't want it to go crazy on either side, but if I can get them to keep going up and then across, I'll have quite a bit of cherry tomato, won't I? Yeah, so the rest of my tomatoes don't have blooms yet, but they'll get there. I did pull a bunch of this weeds out yesterday and trained some of that. That one was kind of dying, like it didn't have any airflow, and I think it's because it's up against that privacy fence, so it really needs to be like these in the open. I have some can you tell? Some sunflowers coming up behind my barrel. And there's one right there, and then there's a few here. One landed in my concrete planter. There was one here that might have died off. But tomatoes that are volunteer have gotten huge. We've gotten some rain lately. That's what I done yesterday, saved some rain from my wheelbarrow. And looky here, we got cucumbers that are blooming. Pretty blooms. And they're getting tall and sprawling. I know I only have a few that's going up. So these down here, I'm thinking they're going to sprawl this away or that away, but I'm going to try and keep them out of my walkway here. Because I've got squash here too, see? Now my pole beans are going up my trellis pretty good. And then every day I'm just, you know, tucking in leaves that get tall enough that might need to be captured. That's what I call it, capturing. And I talk to my plants every day. I know it sounds funny, but hey, it works. I just tell them how good they're doing. God bless it. You know, and whatever God allows me to have, I will try to preserve or use or share. That's the best part, is sharing. I don't think these green beans have tendrils, but these things really grab a hold and twist. They sure do. I'll show you. Right here. See this one? And look, it's done went whoop, whoop, whoop. Look how tall it's getting. Instead of me getting it to come here, it's already taller than this trellis. It's circling. So I think it just circles and put off, you know, more leaves. And we'll see where the pods come from. That ain't tall enough to get in there. I don't know if these need to sprawl out like they was doing or what, but see, they get big. I don't know if I can get it in there or not because I didn't let it go too fast. It goes fast. That's what I'm doing, just kind of tuck in here and there. Just like that. Okay. So, my potato plants are falling over. They're dying. That gives the onions lots of room. Look at that. They're loving the sunshine. Wow, they're huge. The onions will do their thing too and die off. Oh, we have morning glories. See this? Morning glories are pretty, but we can't have you choking out nothing. Because they did last year. Oh man, they sprawled everywhere and choked everything out. You can go back and look on my videos too. These were replaced onions that didn't come up. That's why they're a little bit small. But look at the ones that were here the whole time. They're huge. I'm glad. I've never had onion that big yet. So I did get them started on time this year. It's pretty cool. Alright. So, you see my walkway dilemma. When we're putting these in, the sizes is a little bit different because we're trying to save on the timbers as well. And I had already planted in these, so I knew how far to go. Here's marigold. And here's a tomato. So there's plenty of space. And so I have to go back and pull up weeds in the walkway, which I did a little bit last night. You can tell all down through there on each side was weeds like this. And then I'm gonna have to go back, and I was like shoving the cardboard that's already here kind of up underneath the boards on each side and pressing down with my foot. So it felt like the moles was pushing it up is what it was. or groundhog or whatever. So pulling the cardboard to each side, you can tell that there is holes like in the center. So I'm gonna go back and lay fresh cardboard down as I mulch from my mulch pile that's dwindling down. And then start mulching from that corner down. So that's exciting. These volunteer tomatoes have really come up fast, so I ended up putting cages over top of these last night. I still have a cayenne pepper. Woohoo! And then I was going to show you this jalapeno pepper. Remember, it was just this leaf for a long time. Well, now we have a few little tiny leaves. So I think this survived. I'm excited for that. Here's the little lettuce that I'm supposed to have. I don't know how well that's going to do, but there's 5. There's my romaine lettuce. You can see it. This is a radish. I'm not sure which kind. This here's a radish. And then volunteer tomatoes. I had to readjust my tree, my apple tree. After putting in this, I put the stake in the corner there and pulled it on back up. And then this stake here, it's kind of leaning, but I think it's in there good. Yeah, it didn't move. Okay. That stake I didn't move either. But I did pull the tree back up. And we had a pretty good wind that night, and I had to stomp in some dirt around the root there to help hold this up. This tree I didn't plant deep enough is why this leans. I noticed that now, and I recognize that now. This was the first tree I ever planted, so knowing that, the next year I made sure this one was down deep enough, and it has not moved or anything. And then another thing too, though, is the way that this garden is. You can tell, maybe the camera doesn't show, but there's a slope. You see the slope? It goes down to that corner, and this is how all the water runs. So this catches a lot of water, I think, and makes it soft. The ground is real soft. Even on this side, I've got volunteer tomatoes, and over there too. So my thought was find some string, tie it around the base of the tomato, or tie it around like if I could find any garden stakes, and stake it. And then I'm going to wrap the tomato stem up and onto one of these limbs to each one of these tomatoes and see what we can do. I'm afraid that, where these are flimsy, it might break the tree, but that's all right. It'll make the tree even stronger next year. So I'm excited. My peaches are still hanging on in here. They're just not changing any colors. I don't really know when they harvest or anything. They just look the same, but maybe a little bit bigger. Might be a little bigger. Let's see. It's about 2 inches. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're at a halt. But I'm just leaving them just to see. And these onions are blooming out. And I'll have a bunch of seed. There's a little like sweat bee there or something getting in there. And they smell like onion, the flowers do. I didn't get any eggplant, so we have volunteer tomatoes instead, look. But they're getting ate up, so they probably won't survive. My little carrot surviving. And then here's this one sticking way out in my walkway, but that's all right. move it aside and walk past it. Here's zucchini. They've gotten bigger. I just try to, you know, weed around them. So I think they'd come on anyway with weeds around them or not, if they're anything like pumpkin. Yep. Speaking of pumpkin, what was like 3, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 5 now. And this one's just 1, 2, 3. There's pumpkins. I found more volunteer tomatoes. How about that? They're all around this tree too. Yellow squash. My peas might be overcrowded, I'm not sure. And we're out here where the sun's beating down, so everything looks kind of wilty. But last night, everything's all nice and perky and watery. I got more of this Queen Sophia Morning Glories blooming. They're so pretty. Ever so often. This is the potato plant that died all the way. I gotta make sure I think I wrote it down in my binder to come back and harvest that one. See, more Queen Sophia, I think. I have to look at my packets, but that was the only one that had that color. Here's another one. They're so pretty. This here was kale. It's getting taller. And then I had spinach here. They're coming on. Green beans is really coming on. Look at that. And then I had turnips from here on down. And they're coming up. Volunteer tomato. Peas. Green beans. Cardboard's hot on my feet. Yeah, I got some turnips all the way down to here. Now this green bean is not attached, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to gently try not to break it. Kind of wrap around. Wrap around. Sometimes they unwrap after I wrap it, and sometimes they stay. But at least I'm training it. There we go. Maybe it'll stay this time. You got an onion. There we go. And see these, I'm just oh good. Cauliflower's living. Poke. That's another one I'm pulling. Don't want poke. Alright. Did Brussels sprout even come up at all still? No. Yeah, see all these potatoes are laying down now. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, I got a broccoli. 1, 2. There's 3. 4. Good. 5. 6. All right. They all survived. And I have a cauliflower. That's 1. Should have another. Somewhere in here. I see the steak right here. There it is. 2. Oh, good. And then I have the 3 cabbage here too. Wow, you got big. These potatoes are squashing them. And there's 2. That one got big too. Trying to find the sun is what they're doing. And here's the 3rd one. All right, everything survived. I'm happy for that. So I've transplanted this 2 or 3 times. Glad I started that many. All right, guys. I'm gonna have to let you go from out here because my phone's done hot. I think I'm done anyway. There really wasn't nothing to do. Oh wait, here's some polk. Let's go on and grab it out, and then we'll move into the house. Forgot to show the watermelon. They're starting to get that third leaf on them now. Woohoo! And I was just admiring the new beds. I was helping my husband a couple times here and glanced over at my rose bush by his building. And do you see any roses? No. But it's getting choked out by a honeysuckle bush because I haven't been paying attention over here. That's growing fast. Just remember how big this was? I trimmed it way down. Look how huge that mulberry tree grew just this year. You know all the little poke weeds that I've been pulling? This is poke. And look how tall. I mean, I will flip you around, hold on, because there's one right there. And they're starting to put on the little big berries. It'll be big bushy berries like that for the birds. I am 5'6". That is how tall poke can get, or even taller. That's why I don't want poke in my garden. And where it's back there on the fence line and I don't go over there very often, I'm not going to worry about it. But I used to mow and weed eat here a lot, and as soon as I'd see that stuff, I'd pull it real fast. But now I've got our roommate Travis. He's mowing and weed eating, so I'm grateful that he's mowing and weed eating, and I don't have to deal with that. But it'll be there for the birds on this side, not down at my garden. Okay, we're here in the house now, and I don't know how long it's been, and I don't know if the new viewers have seen my home, but we added on this room to help make room for the rest of the house. We want to have a walk-in closet in the back for the bedroom. We want to have a pantry. I had a pantry, a small one, and we knocked it off here too. So we got a bigger pantry back here. We're gonna move my laundry room in here. That'll give more room in the kitchen. And then I think the deep freeze is gonna be moved in here. That's from the kitchen too. And but before I can do all that, I have to empty this room. And this is stuff that, let me think here. There's a whole big story. If you go back and watch my old videos, you would know the story. But in our bedroom, we used to live in there, or sleep in there, I mean, in the bedroom, of course. And then we ended up moving to the living room because the bed broke down and was hurting our backs. And we had sleep apnea, so the incline of the recliners was helping us sleep better. Plus we had raccoons living up in the attic, and I was tired of listening to the raccoons at the time because we had a big hole in the back that they was getting in at. Well, with my husband being disabled, we didn't have a way of fixing that hole, and he wouldn't let me up on the roof. It's a steep roof, that's why. So, that was all happening. So that room became a little like storage room. So when my mom passed away, her stuff went in that room because I had to clean out her house. And before that, my mother-in-law passed away. So her room, which she lived with us, her room was full of her stuff. So what we was wanting to do, we was wanting to fix her room, her floor. It was falling in and everything. So I was slowly moving her things over to the bedroom. Then in the middle of all that, and we had somebody that was needing a place to stay. So I had to clean out the bedroom because it was in better shape than, I call her Granny, Granny's room. So I moved all that stuff from the bedroom into the kitchen. Well, when all that was happening, I think actually before that, come to think of it, before that, a tree fell on the back of the house. We had a big storm, and the tree fell and caved in the rooftop on top of the bedroom. Luckily, nobody was in there or anything. No leaks. I mean, we do see some spotting up on the ceiling tiles, but as far as leaking through to the house, it didn't happen. Insurance covered replacing the roof and putting all new siding around the house because they didn't have the siding color that was on the house. This is an old house. 30s? I keep forgetting. Dates I'm not good at. 1930s or something is when this house was made. So we was able to get all new siding on the house per insurance. So that's why it looks really nice on the outside. You know, the pretty green and things. And then we had enough to add this on. Because our little mud room, it was about this wide actually, from there to here. Maybe even shorter, because I think we made it wider. This little bitty mud room, the floor was rotted as well, and it needed to be fixed. And then I had a small pantry right here. You can tell from that green board right there, that was the walk-in to the pantry, and it was tiny. And you'll see those videos. I crammed everything in there the best that I could. I even had a desk up against the back wall, and I had to take it apart inside that room to get it out. And I'd had to put all the pieces in there, you know, to put it together to even set it in there. It was a mess. Anyway, make do with what you have, right? So now we have this big, beautiful, gorgeous room. And I had to clean out the bedroom because the person that was coming in to live, I ended up bringing all that in here for storage for a little while because it's stuff I didn't go through yet. Once that happened, the flea market decided to move different buildings. So I had to clean out my booth at the flea market, so that ended up in here, right? And then about halfway through, we had somebody else that needed a place to stay, which was going to be in Granny's room. So all her stuff had to come out, and it come out to this mud room as well. So that's, and then we was cramming all of our stuff into the living room as a bedroom. Okay. Now, with all that in mind, we've, you know, put down a board and everything and made it all livable for the next person. Okay, and that's Travis. That's who's here now. So he's got Granny's room, and then our bedroom I'm slowly working on because I ended up moving everything from the kitchen back into the bedroom once that person had moved out, because the kitchen was very tiny walk spaces. Go back and watch them videos. You're not alone, guys. Go back and watch them. Okay, so we have stuff piled up. Like my best friend, she's going to start having chickens. So whenever I buy cartons, I'm saving them. I'm saving the cartons so that when she has eggs, and now her mother-in-law's also got chickens too, which that's where the cartons are going, okay? These boxes are great for packing tomatoes in also from the garden, from the harvest. I've done that for a couple years now. They're great. So that's why I have all that. This is books and pictures and stuff that was in a closet and the living room that I had to empty out so we could hang our clothes in there from the bedroom. Okay, So this is just like our stuff right here. Mine and Hank's stuff. Just this section. Okay, now when you go from that, this, well, maybe this is my stuff too. Right here. But this is all like organization stuff that I need to. I was keeping to see if I wanted to use it to reorganize anything in the house. But anytime I empty something, it comes here. So as you see, I'm not using much. Now this right here, I think is mine. My stuff, I was like, I need a place to put it. Let me just set it here for a moment. So from these on is not my stuff. So some of this is my mom's that I have to go through. And then I have stuff that's my mother-in-law's that I have to go through. We made these that I have no place to put them at the second. But this is all mother-in-law's room stuff. Plus we have a lot of drywall back here and empty boxes that I can use to put things in. Finally have gotten this corner out because we've got our booth back out in the new building now. And things that was already marked for the booth is out there. And these are some more shelving that I had in the booth, but we have a smaller booth this time. And so I didn't want it to be crowded, but now I have a few shelving back here that I can be like, well, if I need to have another shelf somewhere, I've got some shelves. This stuff here was given to me from my dad. My dad did want stuff. But it's going to go to my brother-in-law. So my brother-in-law is going to get this stuff. We just got to get it down to him. And these two items as well. And then these were some end tables that don't fit in the living room right now, but we may use later. And then, of course, I have the cat and dog area, some cleaning supplies. You know, I got to use some of the mud room. I got cat food, and then this is our... Okay. Well. Okay, hats, gloves, scarves, shoes, jackets. But I want to eventually move all that stuff over to this area. And I gotta clean this up. Which this is cardboard from household that I'm taking down to the garden for my walkways. And tons of paper, like bill paper that I've kept for years. Why? I don't know. But we're going to have a big burn session. We're going to burn all that paper. Because the paper's not working in the garden like I thought it would. You've seen that. Them little pieces of paper just go everywhere when it rains. So I'm not dealing with that. Anyhow. So that explains this room. And then, oh yeah. My dad was moving and he had to sell me this refrigerator. So that's how come I got an extra refrigerator. My mother-in-law had a refrigerator too. So Travis has his own. So it worked out. But that's why this room's a mess. And I gotta slowly work on that. Now, these items right here, I've already got labeled for the booth. This is a tote that I just keep here because I have no other space, but it's filled with booth stuff. And each week or every 2 weeks that I can get down to the booth, I go on and add more stuff to it. And then I've been, to get things moving, because I want to get rid of this stuff pretty fast, you know. To get things moving, I am marking down prices, and we wanted to have the money to help with our bills and everything, but it just ain't working out that way. And the booth, I wanted the booth to be paying for itself. So it's not really working that way, but at least I'm getting rid of this stuff. Okay. So this here is the bedroom, and you can tell where the spots are down. You know, we have tried to have central heat and air and got it to this far and never finished it. So we've had to, that's what these are in every single room covered up. That actually fell in though. Like raccoons were nesting there or something, and it just fell in. Okay, so this is the bedroom. The bed has broke down, so that's why the mattress is on the floor. This is the mattress on the floor. Everything else is outside by that truck because it's going to go to a dump. These are all emptied, so you can tell I've been working hard on this stuff. All that over there is emptied, finally. So this section here, I've moved stuff from, oh yeah, we had to pause and clean out buildings because we switched Hank from the small building to the big building so he can have more space to do what he enjoys and keep his mind going and stuff that he can do. So we stopped, cleaned out, and organized. We have that on video as well. I have a garden building down there by the garden, and lawn and garden and all that stuff. And we have this building up here that's storage from the house. So things that I want to keep, we have remodel stuff in there. I've got holiday stuff in there that I want to keep. We've got outside toys for Parker in there that we want to keep. And then I have, I had just moved out there a vacuum that come from my mother-in-law. It's a good vacuum. I want to use it. I want to keep it as a backup. So I've got it in there. And then I moved out there some bill papers that I don't want to get rid of yet. So that building is pretty much full. So the stuff we wanted to sell and get rid of or trashed, you know, that's what's sitting outside. We're waiting on getting a new gate on the other side of the house where we can pull in a trailer with Hank's truck and get rid of whatever might be trash out here, out in the back, and haul it off to the trash. Before we can fix that gate, see, priorities, man. Before we can fix that gate, we are buying things to fix the garden because the garden is our food. So the food part is more important than the trash. The trash, it'll just sit here and disintegrate. I don't like looking at it, but having space for our food to us was more important at the time, okay? So, there's that. And we just keep adding more stuff. Trash. Because the building that Hank is in now, that one, was my mother-in-law's building, and she hung on to a lot of stuff. She trashed a lot of stuff, but she hung on to a lot of stuff. So we was trying to divide it up between his family, and hardly anybody took anything. Nothing. So we're stuck with cleaning it. That's what's happening. So whatever's trash is trash outside. Whatever was, we're able to resell it, kind of sell it, and then split the money between him and his brother. And that's what I'm doing with my mom's stuff. My grandmother even gave me stuff. She started cleaning her house out. Y'all, I was just packing stuff in and never taking anything out. And so during that time, that had to have been 2021, 2022. I had surgeries in those times. My mother-in-law passed away. My mom passed away. Grandpa passed away. And then, so depression, anxiety, because my house was filling up at the time. And then we wanted to put more people in here, which brought more anxiety on. And so it's better this year. This year is so much better. And I'm so thankful that God pulled me through it all. And yeah, so now I don't have depression. Now it's more like managing everything. So the booth, we got it back. It's a cheaper booth. Still not making enough to pay the booth, but it's okay. We're taking things out there, and it feels like, 1 month has went by. So after that 1 month after we sold everything, I went back and marked everything down, half price, whatever was mine, because I didn't care. I just want to get rid of it, right? We don't want to hang on to it. Marked it down half price. Whatever didn't sell that month, which was, okay, I think it was April. We got in there in April. Whatever didn't sell in April, marked down in May. Tried another month with it marked down. It's not selling because it's kind of the same people that go in there. Whatever don't sell there, I put it in a mystery box for June. So I have 3 mystery boxes out there. When those 3 mystery boxes don't sell, and they're also marked down by half, they just don't know what's in it. They know how much the value is, and I've marked it down by half. So the mystery boxes, if they don't sell, I'm going to take them to like Goodwill or someplace where I can just donate. But it's out of the house, you know? So I've got a whole booth worth down into 3 boxes in 1 month. So that's good. That's good news to me. That's something. And then now that I'm just showing you guys all this stuff that I emptied. So yeah, we're making progress. That's awesome. So I got everything from all these buildings that are storage or stuff that we didn't want is all in here. Okay, because we're starting with this room. And then we had stuff out on the front porch. And the front porch has an old couch on it, an old chair on it. Ceiling towels fell down from the storm. When that tree fell down out there, it made like a vacuum up in the ceiling and just sucked air out or pushed air in if we got wind after that. And these ceiling tiles in here just started falling down. We even had one fall on Hank's head while he was sleeping. And we have some videos on another one trying to fall. So every now and then we'll hear freak out, you know, because it's going to come down. The reason why we haven't taken the rest of it down is because when you take one piece down, I feel like the whole thing is going to fall down. I mean, I even freaked out the first night when 1 or 2 fell, that I took all of our sleeping stuff. So the 2 chairs and all that, and the TV, I took the big TV, moved it into Parker's room, and I took the little TV that was in Parker's room and put it in the kitchen. And we had a kitchen, the TV in the kitchen. And yeah, the small kitchen had us sleeping in it. Oh, wow, we've come so far. We have come so far. And at that time, Parker was still sleeping with me in the chair. So when we moved into here as a sleeping, Parker was able to move. He moved into his room because he was outgrowing me in this chair. Anyway, it was all emotional. So here's my front porch. I still have the fish tank out here. Parker decided he wanted to keep it. And then we have some ceiling tiles down out here. And I've slowly moved stuff that I'm trying to sell into the bedroom. And try to get just this porch to where, okay, this is going to be taken on the trailer for trash. Now I do have a pool out here that we had received, and I don't know if it's got a hole in it now where it's been sitting here since we've gotten it, and all the pieces and everything, but checking the mail. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to do. Just leave this as whatever's going to go to the dump is out here. And then we've got some more of those Christmas globes that we want to check and make sure we have. Which I have no space. And then I got to thinking, I still have my yard sale stuff out here. It's not going to fit in my storage building, but I might end up having a yard sale when I get everything labeled. Just start putting stuff out there. So, if I could do that around August, that's 127 yard sales, and advertise it real good, have good signs out at the road. We might just do that. Okay, now, here's my to-do list. I know this video is so long already, but stick with me. My to-do list. You ready? Because this house is a mess where I've been outside and Parker hasn't been helping me as much as he should have been helping. Okay. If you can tell, you see hair? Yeah, living room needs to be vacuumed for sure. You know, when I vacuum, I pick up and take things off Hank's table and pick up stuff. So this has to be vacuumed. I have a load of laundry that needs to be washed. This floor needs to be swept because there's fur balls everywhere. Mudroom needs to be swept. Fur balls, you know. Look at all the dishes because Parker hasn't been helping. And I've been working on outside and taking care of whatever Hank might need help with. But look, dishes, which these, it's just this one that needs cleaned. That's my fault. Dishes. And I need to put these dishes away. This is also my fault, but you know, whatever. I have clothes in the dryer that needs to be folded and put away. I have these in the basket that come off the clothesline before it rained. These need to go in here for about 10 minutes just to fluff them and all that. Those put away as well. Then I gotta wash. And when I wash, I put them on the clothesline. And then I sweep this room as well as I go. But I've been sweeping this yesterday. That's what I've done. I've been going through some stuff trying to get a container full to take to the booth. Try to do that a little bit every week. And then I ran into a whole bunch of Hank stuff, and so I just started putting it into boxes, and I'm taking a box down to Hank when he's ready, because he's in his building where it's nice and cool under the air conditioner and fan, and he's labeling and cleaning off his items. So, alright, so I did the garden a little bit already. We've had breakfast, done our medicine, I've done the garden. That's what I've been working on here lately, but now the garden's kind of doing its own thing, just weeding here and there, training here and there. I need to focus on the house. Come along with me. I'll show you a little bit of each thing that I do, not all of it, okay? Gotta go take care of Hank for a second. This is my homemade laundry detergent. Messed up and washed my clothes with Hank's clothes, where he works in the building and stuff. So all my clothes are like rent. If you see big splotches and stuff, oil patches or something, that's why. So I wash his clothes separate. good and dry from the clothesline, so I only put it on 10 minutes to fluff and get like fuzz off. And I compost this. That's how I make Parker put his own clothes away. Sometimes he just throws it, but that's his decision. This is yours. Take it outside. Take it outside. Take it outside. Get that stick and take it outside. Thank you. Get it. Take it outside. Take it outside. Take it out there. Outside. Outside with it. Outside. 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 Sorry, Kim. With it being flea season, I'm trying to vacuum better than what I've been doing. Which was just vacuuming around everything, but tray dumped behind there, so flip this chair. Goodness. Here again. Yeah, we're good. Move this out of the way. I'll put that up in just a minute. Goes in Parker's room. Sits in here. this. I'm gonna move this chill. This is already full. Craziness. Wow, down in here, it's really nasty too. Come on. And it comes off easy. Look at that. Dang. I usually do this outside. I did a lot of heavy vacuuming, I think, last week. I did not clean like I should have, I think. Forgot about it. I was tired and pooped and spent like 2 hours on the living room pulling everything out, reorganizing out from under my desk. organized Hank's area. Put all that in the living room. Phew. Into this one too. Here a minute. King, I'm gonna have to watch out. I ain't done. Over here. As soon as that's done, that's what I'm doing next, hanging up laundry. And then I'm gonna start sweeping and trash in the kitchen. A few hours later, let's try about, let's see, it was from 3:40 to 7:40. So 4 hours later, me and Hank just had my husband had like a outing, just hanging out with each other. I don't know what you call it. But I come back just to see if my clothes were dry. Look at the clouds. It almost looks like rain this evening. I don't know. Wow. Yeah, my clothes are dry. So, that's what I want to do next, I think. Let me check the pants. Those are the ones that are usually the most, yeah. Jeans are dry too. Awesome. Alright, so that's what I want to do next. And then, let's see. Probably going to sweep the floors and then start dishes. And I like to do dishes while watching YouTube, kind of calm my nerves and stuff or something. But look, I'm getting a cold sore just coming on. I don't understand it. They say it's from stress or something, but yeah, who's not stressed all the time? I mean,